Okay. Second episode. 2. We're back.
So we're gonna talk about like what we think and the survey that we put out.
Yeah, because as we mentioned in our first episode, we have a little survey that we gave people, not specifically pregnant teenagers, but just like teenagers, to like get their information on like what they think and their opinions and stuff. So that's also going to be included.
Okay, so all of these people we asked are high schoolers, and we asked them if they are like pregnant, which none of them are, but some of them, their mom was a teen mom.
What about you? Is your mom a teen mom at all?
My mom, she wasn't. She had me when she was 30, so no.
Me neither. You know, my mom, yeah, she didn't have me until she was in her late 30s, which actually I feel like the subject of my mom and my grandma kind of touches on gender-neutral teen pregnancy, because my grandma had my mom when she was 16. Like, I know obviously that's like way back, because my mom's not my mom, my grandma's old, so it was seen differently, but my grandma had my mom at 16 and my mom had me at like 38, so that's like that's 16, sorry, that's like a pretty big age gap, you know, like my mom had me in her late 30s and my grandma had my mom when she was a teenager, so that's like.
Do you think your mom had you so late because
of that? Honestly, I think for my mom, yeah, because my mom is the oldest out of all her children. Because like I said, there's so many factors that go into like teen pregnancy, or just at what age people decide to have children. I think my mom probably views teen pregnancy more negatively, maybe because she literally had a teen mother, right? And I think they did struggle, and my mom had to take on a lot of those like more motherly roles with her other siblings. So I think genuinely my mom was not in any rush to grow up because of how she had experienced her childhood, which I think affected on the fact that she had me at a older age. So yeah,
I think like it's kind of the opposite for me, because my grandma also had my mom at like a decent age, probably like 30-ish. And so like my mom, like that was normal to my mom, so she had me at about the same age.
Yeah.
If you became pregnant right now, how would that change your plans for the future, like college, high school, career, etc.? You want to go first?
Well, I think that the career that I'm looking at right now is like 10 years of like school, and I think that with a child, a high education like that is definitely way trickier. So even though I feel like I would have help from like family, my dad doesn't work and all that stuff, I think I would get help, but I definitely would not go for that 10-year career, like to get to that career. I would probably just choose a shorter one. I wouldn't like drop out or anything, because I think education is something that's really important to me, and also a lot of people in society nowadays, because you know, education is really important. But I think it would make me choose a shorter career, but I wouldn't like drop out or anything.
Yeah, I think my answer is similar. Like, I don't really know what I want to do, but I think like having a child would like tie me down and kind of like solidify my future in a way I wouldn't really want. I mean, like if I could prevent it, I would want that. But yeah, I think I would probably also pick something that's like very dependable, and something I know I can, like maybe picking a major I know I can get a job in, or that I know is gonna be like low effort. But I think I would also like want to at least graduate high school. Maybe I would, if I don't like online school, but I think maybe that would be a good thing to like consider.
Yeah.
Some of the people who answered this also said they would wouldn't pick as long of a career that would affect like the time spent with their like child. They also said they wouldn't go to college or wouldn't play sports in college because of like how they could have performed in high school because they were pregnant.
You know, I think that if you really if you really try, you really want that. I think being a teen parent like would affect you because it would have limits on it, but I still think it would be possible. But I definitely think there would be like limits to what you can really do.
Yeah, like especially with like sports, I feel like you can't like if it's like your senior year and you're like I feel like it's like common like you have to perform really well your last year to get into a good sports school, you know, like school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you can't do that because you're literally pregnant, like, or you gave birth, like that could affect what college you go to or like scholarships you could get.
Mm-hmm.
One person said they would slow down their academics to focus on the pregnancy, or one other person said that they would take a gap year. So maybe like, you know, like you said, like you can go to college at any time.
Yeah, I think a gap year is actually a really good idea if you're if you get pregnant more towards like the end of high school, because you know you could always take a gap year. I think it's a really good idea, and it's also a year that you could really think about what you want to do next now that you have a child.
I think that's one of my mom's friends did, because she just recently graduated for something, and like her daughter is like 12, so like I think that could be a good idea.
Yeah, because you can go to college at any age, so
so maybe like wait until your kid is able to sustain themselves better going to school or something. Okay, if you became pregnant, do you think the people around you would react positively or negatively? Most people, okay, we got 13 responses that said negatively and 3 that said positively, so majority said negatively.
I would agree for my parents.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like that's complicated. Like, I think just because they would react negatively doesn't mean they wouldn't support you, but
I mean, I think they definitely would react like not the best, but I think that at the end of the day, like I would get the support, because you know I don't think they would just leave me and be like, "Okay, you're pregnant, bye." They'd be like, "You're pregnant, dang it," but like I love you. So
yeah, I think that's probably what a lot of people. I bet a lot of people agree with that, and I agree. Like my mom, I think she understands that like having a kid can tie you down and not let you like do all the things that you might want to do, or like experience like college life, or like figuring out who you are. But like in the end, like I would also like get supported.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you would have access to helpful resources if you were pregnant?
I mean, I think I would look for them. I think as of right now, I'm not aware of like all of the resources, because I'm sure there are a good amount. I say right now, like the only ones I know are like your basic like Planned Parenthood and all that stuff, and like. But I think that if I were to get pregnant, then I would think about it more, and I would actually like research it and look for it actively. But if it's not like one's plan, I don't think they would be as aware of it. But I think when you actually like come to that, I think you could definitely find a good amount of them.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think